Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Surviving the Coronavirus, or COVID-19, as it's called in official terms. We got Josh here joining us from Texas Whiskey Life. Awesome.
How's it going?
So I think most of you know my wife is an infection preventionist, so she's been living COVID-19 at the hospital. So we decided, we can thank Perry from this is my Bourbon podcast for setting all this up in all the channels, and thanks to Scott and Jason and Bobby and Sam and Matt ADHD for doing all this today. And then I guess after us is Bourbon Blind here at 6, which I guess was 7 Eastern. But yeah, so we figured we'll start with the spirit of apocalypse, because if anyone's been to Walmart or in a grocery store, that's what it looks like in there. Looks like every horror movie you've ever seen about people wiping stuff out.
Dude, I was out selling whiskey at Total Wine this morning, and it was kind of crazy. They had people coming in buying Everclear and things like that to try and use as hand sanitizer. And then, people coming. I got to give Total Wine a bunch of credit. They had a whole protocol of you got to keep the cups upside down. The customer picks up the cup. You don't touch it. You wear gloves. You pour for them. They throw it away. They had a whole protocol for tasting whiskey out.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I went to the grocery store right after on the way home, and it was a little spooky, man. It was a little spooky.
Yeah, we went to some wineries last night, and then on the way home at 12:39, we stopped at Walmart, and I'm like, "Yep, there's nothing left." I took a look at the line. I'm like, "Yep, I'm not waiting 30 minutes to an hour to check out. I'm good." So we walked around just for, I guess, to see what the hell crazy people do. And just all the shit that was gone. It was pretty entertaining. So,
Yeah, not a roll of toilet paper in the entire H-E-B store by my house. Nope. Not a single thing of hand soap. Nothing like that. All the canned tuna is gone.
Yeah, there's
there's plenty of food in the store, but people made runs on certain things.
Yeah, it seemed like beef, chicken, most lunch meats, hot dogs, all that stuff was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And ice cream, for whatever reason, was gone. Seemed like an odd, but okay, whatever works.
Well, hey, if it's the apocalypse, man, you may as well have, some cookie dough ice cream or something just to treat yourself.
Exactly. So let's see who we. Oops, damn, wrong button. So push that button. All right, so we got in here. Whiskey Throttle, Wheels. It's all One Lost Cause in here. Clifton McDaniel. Yeah, actually, we're gonna have Clifton on here in a couple of weeks, so that'll be fun.
Cool.
We got obviously you're in here. Ben Stahl, Steve A, Icehouse, Wheels, Jason Coates, Will Henderson, Chad Holly, DJ Beacon. And there's Perry from This is My Bourbon Podcast. Thanks, you guys, Perry. Really appreciate you doing this for us. You got Luna around, who's over in I think UK or Germany or something like that. Dramhound, Whiskey Jason, he's in Germany. I know that. Let's see here. Donald Rance, Whiskey Steve, Ben Demon Hunter. All right, so we got a bunch of other people. So yeah, so hopefully everybody's been enjoying this day. And there's Brian Brennicky. And so hopefully I got everybody. Yo Jimbo, Patrick Fulmer, T Green. Oh, there's Pat from Whiskey Den. Check out Pat if you guys haven't checked out my Whiskey Den. Always a good fun time for Midwest.
Yeah, me and Gretchen are going to be live with them tomorrow night. Actually, they had Robert on.
Very cool.
They had Robert on a few days ago, and so they're going to have us on talk about what it's like to be a whiskey rep, I guess.
Sweet, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So I am just 5 points shy of the required proof to be sanitizing, but at 115. But I'll take it anyway. I'm doing the latest batch of Harbinger, which of course there was a huge run on Harbinger around here. Cleared out the shelves after we won that award, the World Whiskies Awards for best bourbon. So this is the brand new batch, the 2020A, and it is fantastic, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
most definitely. Yeah, so I'm going to grab Hubris because we need a corn whiskey for the apocalypse, and it seems like a good one to have. So
there you go.
It's also one of the best corn whiskey in the world, so can't go so bad.
Yeah. We're us and Balcones, I think, have won that same award on different years. Of course, for the True Blue and then Hubris.
You can't go wrong with those two. Those are definitely some of the best there is in the world, for sure.
Yeah, I think those are some of the staples of Texas whiskey, in my opinion. Some of the best examples of what we can do down here.
Most definitely. Oh, I do love Icarus. It's so great.
Steve A's having some Icarus. Fantastic.
All right.
I'm jealous because I'm down to my last, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 ounces of Icarus, and I've been it's stashed in the back of the cabinet there. So
what, in May when the next batch will come out, something like that?
I heard it's supposed to be at an upcoming event. I cannot confirm or deny exactly.
All right.
but should be announced soon. Look out on the newsletter and stuff. They'll announce when it's coming out.
Okay, awesome. I always get those, so that's cool.
Yeah.
We got Richie Z came in. See Mike Myers. Oh, good to see everybody. Oh, it's such great stuff. So, do you prefer Icarus or Hubris, or just doesn't matter? You like them both, and depends.
I mean, I like them both. I think Icarus for me. I don't know. Okay, so tell me if you're the same way I am. I have something like Icarus that I know I can't just get all the time, and a Hubris is kind of the same way, but there's a little more of it out there, right? True. So I tend to ration stuff like that.
I do too. Yeah, I mean, this one's okay. Yeah, because I got this actually from Brian from Pit Bakes Barbecue. We did our barbecue episode. This one with the burnt ends, the Icarus, was just freaking awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
So eventually, now with the freaking apocalypse here, we're trying to do an event with Brian and do a actual whiskey meetup for Whiskey Crusaders and Pit Face Barbecue and have his barbecue. But until all this crap, I think, blows over, we're gonna probably have to wait before we figure out a date. Hey, Eric, wait. Victoria C, Peter White, good to see you guys.
Yeah, hey Victoria, I haven't seen her in quite a while. I've run into her a few times at Texas Whiskey Trail Distilleries. We watched a little bit of Eric's shenanigans last night. I guess he went for quite a while, man.
Yeah, like 4 hours. Yeah, we ended up going to one of the wineries. I was going to watch that, but she came home from the hospital about 8 o'clock, and she's like, "Yeah, we're going out. I need to drink a lot." I'm like, "Okay," because like I said, she's been working 12-hour days at the hospital. It's just this COVID. She's working now downstairs. She's working since 7 o'clock. Man. She got called at 2:30 in the morning for this stuff. It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure like the healthcare professionals are just gearing up to deal with this around here. It's going to be intense for them. So,
yeah, no doubt.
I'm glad Eric's in here because I got this bottle out just specifically for him. It is a bottle of Harbinger's single barrel that they did as it's a charity for DFW Whiskey Club, but it's called Take Your Pants Off for Charity.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's the Eric Waite special right there.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I guess it was proceeds from that barrel went to I can't remember the exact name. It was a childhood disease research thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Because when is that Wahawken Green charity event? When's that one coming out?
I know what you're talking. I don't know the date off the top of my head. Okay. Yeah,
I didn't know that barrel is special. I remember that barrel every time I go to Iron Root. I'm like, I need the Wahawken Green. It's so freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's a super cool corn. I told you about the new barrel pick project that we were doing, right?
I don't think so. Actually, you can tell us about it.
All right. So we actually debuted it at an event in 7 Grand in Austin right before the Texas Whiskey Festival. And we selected, it was me and Gretchen, and then we had Patrick Cohn there, and then the guys from Cast Strength, Brad and Vito, were there. And we kind of narrowed down to our favorite barrel of Bloody Butcher bourbon.
Oh, awesome.
Seems to be the only thing I pick is Bloody Butcher bourbon.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. But after we settled on our favorite barrel, we started adding drops of dessert wines and other spirits and stuff like that.
Ooh,
the samples there to see like what a cask finish might do. And we're actually we finished that single cask in 3 different finishing barrels. So one was Madeira, one was Pinot de Charente, which is kind of a French fortified wine, brandy-ish sort of thing. And the last one, my favorite, was an Armagnac barrel. So you get the same exact barrel finished 3 different ways. Pretty cool, right?
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like that. When will that be ready?
Well, that's what we got to try it at the 7 Grand thing, and then so now the debate is it ready now? Do we want to let it sit longer? I was kind of the opinion that it's pretty ready now because the cask finishing influence was really present there. You could absolutely tell a huge difference between the original and then the 3 finishes. The Madeira was borderline taking over. I mean, that bottle was damn near black.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Which, if you love Madeira, that's fantastic.
I do. So that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Whenever those are for sale, let me know because I definitely want to get one of those.
Absolutely. We're calling it the Revolution Barrel Project.
Okay. Because then it'll be another 6 months or so when you get your next Evolution one out from the original cast strength barrel, or
yeah, it should be less than that. Run number 3 on that should be I mean, it's going to depend on exactly when it's ready, but I would say 3-4 months maybe.
Oh, okay, so not too much longer, though.
You know, because it's been a couple of months since batch number 2 there.
Mm.
Yeah. And y'all did what was it? A Lone Elm pick you did pretty
That's the
recently?
next one we'll do. So your wheat whiskey, I think, for the Apocalypse should be Lone Elm. So there's a barrel of this at Big Country Liquor in Fort Worth, barrel 393. But yeah, the thing's like 114. But yeah, see how nice and black, damn near black that is?
Hell yes.
Soaking great. Yeah, so it's 90% red winter wheat and 10% barley, and it is freaking awesome.
That's those guys are doing cool stuff, man. Especially you get those cast strength single barrels that are like 4 and 5 year old range.
Yeah, and that one we got is between 5 and 6 years old.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of the old 15 gallon barrels. So yeah, the things are awesome. Yeah, the original we picked made half a bottle. It was 159.5.
There's your hand sanitizer. Nah.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to waste good Texas whiskey that way.
No, that would be a travesty, I think.
Yeah.
I can't imagine using it as a hand sanitizer. I'm like, you just drink it. I mean, it'll cleanse your insides. It'll be fine.
Exactly. Just put it in your face. They say don't touch your face. You put that in your face, you'll be fine.
That's right. Just wear gloves, put it all over your face, you'll be fine. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Lone Elm is such great, tobacco and chocolate notes on it.
Yeah, I hear they're working on some other stuff besides wheat whiskey too.
Yep. They got a rye that's coming out that's going to be spectacular.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So what else is going on in the chat here? Oh, Eric Waite saying he needs 2 bottles Balcones Brujeria. Pick them up in June. Yeah, you can still kind of find those around here, actually. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What bottles are we grabbing, Jeffrey Wack? Well, what I grabbed was Lone Elm, the single barrel, the Hubris, and the Icarus from Iron Root, the Walking Dead, the Kentucky Owl Bourbon, the Yoichi single malt, the Balvenie 1509, batch 3, Whistle Pig Black Prince, the Cavalon Soloist Port Cask, the Paul John peated, the Pendrin Welsh whiskey, which is Madeira finish, the Lark, the Middleton, Der Gaelish, Bluebell Forest, the Nomad from Spain, and the Bren 10 from France. So we wanted to make sure we get the really good stuff from all over the world.
Yeah, I grabbed some other stuff that besides the Iron Root ones I got here. I grabbed out of the cabinet since society's clearly falling apart and it's going to be a disaster. I got the SMWS Dystopian Cyberman lubricant.
Very awesome.
It's a Campbellton. I think it's a Glen Scotia, if I remember correctly.
Very
so 18-year-old peated, really funky, that Campbellton funk. And then I decided I was going to grab a few others that are non-whiskeys that I've been really digging lately. I've been really digging the rums and brandies and stuff and mezcal lately.
Awesome.
So I got
which one is that? The Foursquare something?
Sagacity. Yeah, this is the partially Madeira finished. Anyway, it's ex-bourbon and ex-Madeira.
Very cool.
Barbados rum. And I grabbed a cast strength Baz Armagnac from La Cantata. That's absolutely phenomenal. 29-year-old, distilled in 1989.
Nice. I like a Gretchen saying, she's throwing the Otmar zombies. I'll be the zombie happy to take the Otmar off your hands, Gretchen. That's not a problem.
And then the last thing I grabbed was a super cool store around here called the Austin Shaker. Did a project with some of the Mezcal bars around here, and they did a blend of Del Maguey Mezcal.
Cool.
So it's kind of like it's not really a single barrel pick, but kind of like that, right?
That's very cool though. Yeah, because the Foursquare I've got the Premise and I've got the Empry. That Empry is freaking awesome. You had that one at all?
Yeah. I love Foursquare, and I really like the Plantation stuff as well.
Yeah, I like theirs and like Kirk and Sweeney a lot. Really good rum.
I picked up the pineapple rum they make the other day, which sounds like it would be horrible. Like it sounds like it would taste like pineapple Jolly Ranchers or something. Totally, like absolutely give it a try. It's not overly sugared or sweet. They use actual pineapple in the process. It's not artificial flavors or anything. but the plantation pineapple is good stuff.
Does sound good. That's wild. Never had that.
Yeah,
We'll roll one of these days. I guess we'll see you in May for Psalm 2 class. So that sounds like a good time.
that's true. I was trying to think about, what do I want to bring that's special, and maybe I'll be the guy that brings all the non-whiskeys.
Fine with me.
The hell of it. We have enough whiskey anyway.
Good. So, yeah, I think we got that covered. So switching to Kentucky Owl Bourbon, the batch 9.
I haven't had that yet.
It's great. I'll get you some. I'll get some for you. Our review on that will be out on Thursday.
Saw in the chat, plantation pineapple is inexpensive, right? Yeah, that's why I took a chance on it. It's like $22, $25.
Oh, perfect.
Something like that. And it's tasty stuff. I mean, it's not quite to the level of like exceptional single cask Foursquare, but for the price point, it's absolutely delicious.
Definitely. Jason, Mash and Drums in here, Bobby and Sam are in here. Also, if you guys didn't watch them earlier today, go back and watch their streams, or if not, they'll probably be on the roundtable later. But got them. There's Emily Chambers in here. Good to see everybody.
Being asked, is the SMWS Knick-Knack Woody Whack worth $175? Torn without trying it. So that was one of the Balcones Scotch Malt Whiskey Society casks. We got all three: the Cornography, the Shotgun Whirligig, and the Knick-Knack Woody Whack. Of the three, I think the Knick-Knack Woody Whack was our favorite. I know that was Gretchen's favorite. I'm a little torn, but I would say 175 probably worth it. I think it's great. I think the membership price was more like 120.
It's not so bad then.
Something like that. So
yeah, I know Gabe said that one was his favorite when we had him on a couple weeks ago from Balcones.
Oh yeah, I watched that. That was cool. Great. Gabe's great. And
he did a really good job. That was a fun stream. I think we threw like 25, 26 different Balcones that night. It was a good night.
I think I was laying down upstairs and it was like 11:30 or something, and I finally just had to go to sleep.
That one. Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours. It started a little late because was it the one? No, it was the one prior to that we started late. Yeah, it was the Bottle and Bond that started like 15 minutes late. I was diving through the boxes. When you've been here, you know what it's like. Trying to find stuff, and finally found the freaking Evan Williams Baldwin Bonds, the last one I was looking for. Because I thought it was in one box, ended up being Ezra Brooks. I'm like, that's not it. And I found another box, so it was all good.
Nice.
All right, well, that's good. So I think so that's another good bourbon for the apocalypse here for sure. All right, let's see, what should we go to next? How about this one? How about you probably had this one, the Balvenie Tongue 1509 batch 3.
Yeah, I did have that very recently.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's so good. It is so good.
Like top 3 whiskeys ever for me. I mean, since it comes with this cool thing, it tells all the different barrels all they came from put together, which is really cool.
Yeah, man. Where did I have that? That's one of those things that, like, by the time you've spent a bunch of time drinking and collecting whiskey and going to distilleries and all this stuff, I think you end up trying a lot of things and thinking that, yeah, okay, this is good. I don't like this so much, but it takes something really special to like just really make you stop and go, oh my goodness, that's fantastic. And that's exactly what that Balvenie did to me.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had guys who are like, oh, I don't like Scotch. I'm like, don't worry, I'll fix you. So I gave some guys that, and they're like I gave them some of that. They're like, I can still taste it the next day. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start sending you pictures of all the scotches they bought. They're like, you've ruined me forever. I can help you.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Now you love Scotch too. It's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. Hell, we love all alcohol in general. Let's be honest.
It's awesome when you can turn somebody on to something like that when they think they didn't like Scotch or they didn't like whatever. Right.
All they've ever had is some crappy blend. Like they've had like Johnny Walker Red, and they assumed all Scotch. Or they've had, or like when he tried Ardbeg, I'm like, he thinks all of it is like most of it doesn't taste like that, guys.
Right. Yeah. Luna Aaron saying, "How could you not like Scotch?" I mean, I completely agree. Completely agree.
It's if you take them down the right path, you can get them to like Scotch and eventually love it. It's amazing how many chels we found that started with just bourbon, and now they review Scotch too because like, oh, Scotch is actually really good.
Yeah, you know Jose Martinez, right? Yeah, curly mustache guy was the first trail finisher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he didn't like Scotch at all. He had a misconception that they were all peated and smoky, and that was not his thing. Still not his thing, which is fine. But I gave him some Glengoyne 21 one time.
Nice.
And I was like, you know what? Just before you say I don't like Scotch categorically, like you just paint with a broad brush there. Give this a try. And he was like blown away by it. And now he knows better. He just knows that he doesn't like all Scotch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whiskey Steve said he got to try the Balvenie 30. I have tried that. That stuff is phenomenal.
Oh,
that is definitely one of the best ones as well. Yeah, there's certain things I've tried. That one's magical. Like some of the old Highland. We got to try the 40-year Highland Park 1970 vintage. And we had a dinner here with Martin, who's the global ambassador from Denmark, came here and did a dinner. That was mind-blowing good, that 40-year.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's thing. Yeah, because so it's funny. It's that same guy that's into Scotch now. He came to that dinner. He's like, "You've ruined me forever. Highland Park is amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
So what do you think? I've got Armagnac, the Mezcal, the rum. I've got the SMWS down here too.
Let's do the Armagnac. A lot of people care about Armagnac. Armagnac is great.
Yeah. I probably, here's the thing. I'm always the one that wants to share things with people and enthusiastically tell them to try stuff. And that's why I'm always talking about Iron Root to people and all that. But I probably should shut my mouth about Armagnac.
Yes, because then the problem is it'll all go up in price. It'd be great.
Yeah. Because now you can find Armagnac, even cast strength, 29 years old. This was like 140 or something like that.
That's great. Yeah, it's super cheap. I mean, relatively speaking, super cheap for that.
Buying almost 30-year-old whiskey at cast strength. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that'll cost you $1,000 unless it's a private bottler.
Right.
Minimum. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess Joseph Braves said he just got back from Woodinville. Now, I like Woodinville. I've only had one bottle of theirs, and it's really good. But I imagine I've heard they got a lot of special stuff that's at the distillery and just up in that area of the country, which is really cool.
Well, I have Robert to blame for getting into Armagnac. It's now kind of our new like sub obsession behind whiskey.
Yeah, I blame Robert for lots of things that I like to drink now. I also blame him for my nerdiness and grain varietals. When I go to the distilleries and start asking these questions, they're like, "Hey, why the hell do you know all this crap?" Excuse me. And they're like, I'm like, blame Robert. It's fine. They're like, crap, this is really cool. No one ever asks us these questions. So it's really funny. But then they start nerding out on it. It's like, it's great.
Once I figured out that like Robert and Jonathan and then like Jared and all the guys at Balcones, like all of these people really dig Armagnac. There's got to be something to it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a guy bring one. He brought, I think it's a 27-year Armagnac, and it was really that he'd done a pick on basically, and it was amazing. Oh, you packed a cast strength port barrel? Ooh, that sounds good. Sounds really good.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds great.
To check that out. That sounds awesome. Have to let us know how that is.
Hell yeah. Oh, and Chad Hawley went ahead and bought the SMWS bottle. Good job. Proud of you, buddy. That's awesome. You'll enjoy it. It's fantastic stuff. I mean, if you like Balcones, of course, like the SMWS thing is to kind of pick unique, interesting, different casks that aren't really necessarily, spot on to the distillery profile, but they love anyway. So it is a little bit different. You maybe wouldn't instantly say, oh yeah, that's like Balcones single malt, but it's not so far off profile that you would dislike it if you were a Balcones fan, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good reason. All right, let's see. Let's move on to, how about Yoichi sounds good. Yoichi single malt. So I actually got lucky about 2-3 weeks ago. My wife had won a dinner with one of her friends that we got to go to a traditional Japanese lunch, and we made she did all this like homemade sushi and shrimp and all sorts of other wild stuff. And it was really good. One of the other things they also had was a bunch of Japanese whiskey that they'd known one of the executives from Mitsubishi. And so they brought a bunch of stuff that was only available in Japan from Ikiguku and from Yoichi, and they were all awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I think it was 5 or 6 different ones I'd never tried before in my life. So that was awesome. They're all cast strength. It was awesome.
Yeah. Quality Japanese whiskey is still pretty hard to come by. Just in a store, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a lot of it you don't even know what the hell if it's really Japanese or not. You're like, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's either not Japanese or it's, Specs is carrying a decent amount of like some of the non-age statement ones and stuff like that. But if you want any of the desirable, sought after stuff, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I mean, not now. I mean, when I got mine 2, 3, 4 years ago, the ones I've got. And even then, it was still really hard to find what I have. So thankfully, heck, most of them aren't even open. They're just buried. So I wouldn't touch them. So,
What's the best Japanese whiskey you think you've ever had then?
The best Japanese I ever had.
Tough question, I know, but
That's a hard question. To be honest, it's probably the one I just tried. It was this Yoichi called Salt and Peat. That was cast strength. It was like 55.3, something like that. It was really good. That was awesome.
Sounds great.
There's Captain Make It Happen. Good to see you, John.
Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah.
Your favorite Japanese you ever had?
First thing that comes to mind is like maybe Hibiki 21.
Nika 21 is pretty awesome too.
Yeah. Some of the older Yamazaki stuff. I've had a handful here and there, and I used to be able to go pick up Yamazaki 12 for like $50 back in the day. And it was like no problem, but which is fine at that price. But
yeah, I've got several, so it's no big deal. But
yeah, now you try and go buy it in a store, and it's like $200.
Yeah, if you can even find a bottle, which is the other problem. So the little wanted to know which other ones I tried. There was a Mizunara cask, there was a sherry wood cask, there was that salt and peat, and there was a soft wood cask. There was one other one. What the hell it was? But yeah, I have a picture. I can post it on Instagram, or not Instagram. I'll put it up Sarah and post it on Instagram later. Oh, Eric's going to join us, so I'm going to bring Eric Wade in here. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
I got a headache.
What's up, buddy?
Yesterday?
So, the cure.
Yes.
Got to drink some Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
Got to drink some Iron Brew from Scotland.
There you go.
It's the number one soda in Scotland. It's a number 2 beverage, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually, so they sell more Iron Brew. This is a Scottish soda. So in case you didn't know, so Coca-Cola is the number 1 soda in every country with exception of Scotland. This is the number 1 soda pop, what do you want to call it? Iron Brew. So anyway, yeah, I'm not drinking any whiskey at the moment because I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, that was a long ass epic stream, man.
A bit of a bender. The only thing is I had a bit of a headache, but whatever. So got to cure it with some Iron Brew.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. So what flavor is that soda?
It's kind of like bubblegum, orange bubblegum.
No, okay.
And it's like the bubblegum you get like in a pack of baseball cards, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so kind of like an orange big red, basically.
Yeah. So in case anybody's in the chat and doesn't know why am I drinking this, I did a 4-hour live stream last night and had 5 or 6 glasses of the Hardbringer cast strength.
That'll do it.
That's not all.
Good, but that's a lot of. That's a.
Do you have any left?
Yeah. So I had some of the BBC and some of the MMC, and then I had I opened up the Ardbeg Galileo and had some of that as well. That's what I finished with.
Wow, that's nice.
So yeah, so I've gone through a pot of coffee, plenty of water, some Gatorade, and now some Iron Brew.
Have you ever had a chance to try the Ardbeg Black yet? Anybody? I haven't seen it.
Mine is arriving on, I think, the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 3 days. So mine should be here in like 3 days.
Nice.
I've
been keeping an eye out for it.
So I'm going to do an Isla marathon. So I probably won't review, but starting in April. So I'll taste it before then, because to get past the shoulder and all that.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to do I don't know, like 2 months of nothing but Islay whiskeys. I'll do a bottling, at least one bottling from every distillery plus some indies.
There you go.
So that'll be fun. And by the time I finish that, I'll be like, okay, now I'm burnt out on the peat and smoke. Now I'm ready to go.
Back to
They go on these long trends and benders. Depending on how you look at them. So, so there's a song that's been in my head ever since this whole Covid stuff going on. You want to hear it?
I do.
Sure, why not?
A sailor travels to many lands, any place he pleases, but he always remembers to wash his hands so you don't get no diseases.
Oh, that's awesome.
And for Marine to sing that, that's embarrassing. But I've been going around. So there's so much imbalance in dealing with the issue and fear and everything else. That to respond to it at work, it's like, God, another freaking email, another phone call, another tag, and then it's like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I have to respond with comedy.
Yeah. It's the only way to deal with it. Yeah.
My wife is doing this with these doctors all day long and tell them because she approves whether they can have a test or not. And she's like, no, they don't have any symptoms remotely close to COVID. And no, you can't come to the hospital and get tested. Go away.
Yeah. And so I have to respond with comedy. And when someone complains and calls me bad names, I got to double down. I'll go I got to go any further. It's the only way to, to remain sane. And taking a perspective.
The other day about your rebuttal to your comments was hysterical. I almost fell in my chair laughing, disturbed my children.
So,
so I'll switch over to for the Apocalypse Ride, the Boss Hog Black Prince.
Yeah, and then when you're done with that bottle, you can use the cork as a weapon.
Yeah, Matt, let me see the header on that. Let me see, or what do you want to call it? The
stopper.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool as hell. Go that way.
So do they? So like with Blanton's, do they have different ones, or it's just always the same?
Well, it's a different horse for each letter.
Right.
So, and we're saying like Boss Hog. They're all every year it's a different pig.
Oh, okay, there you go. I figured they got to put something in there.
Yeah, this year is a samurai, which is really cool.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet, and I'm super curious about it. Boss Hog's just so pricey that like I'll probably try and find it in a bar or something.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
Yeah, is that the Armagnac cask one there? Or?
Yeah, that's what this.
I love that one.
From a couple years ago. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I got a bottle of Armagnac around here somewhere. Have you tried much Calvados?
Not a lot.
I've only had
some, but
a full bottle of Calvados I've tried. I like Calvados. I think it's good.
Yep.
I've been really getting into the brandies, generally lately. I want to try more of the Copper and King stuff. I've had one. The Houston Bourbon Society did a single cask of Copper and King's brandy that was phenomenally good. And of course, I can't get my hands on that, but it's piqued my interest to try, all of their other stuff.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I imagine that all that stuff is good. I mean, there's so many different finishes now that's cool because you want to get the base spirit that's the finish. I kind of think it's important to know what that tastes like. So that you do drink, like we have a bottle of Armagnac that I'll have people try when they drink the specific Boss Hog. Like, I can see where the Armagnac comes from. It's like it tastes exactly like that in the finish, and it's awesome. So
do you know of any whiskeys that are finished in Armagnac cask? I just can't think off the top of my head.
The Black Princess.
Yeah.
And so is what the heck is it? Joseph Magnus.
Okay.
Yeah, Joseph Magnus is.
Oh, the Joe Magnus. Yeah, right.
And Iron Roots is doing one currently.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that. That sounds awesome.
So I haven't gotten into this. I'll have just a little bit, just a wee bit. So this is a Marie Defoe Napoleon Boss Armagnac 40 ABV.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But let me get a glass for it.
I do like. Yeah, I've got one. I don't know if it's that specific one from them, but I know I've got one. That's the one I always use, the 12-year version of that. That I really like.
We found actually the other day or the other week, we were visiting various Total Wine stores, and Gretchen spotted a bottle of Armagnac from my birth year, which is kind of
cool. That's awesome.
We grabbed it. I haven't opened it yet, but there it is, 1982.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is not like some super high-end stuff. I only bought this one for preparing for exams. So I did a video on exams, and I haven't been back to it since. But I've been to cognac and Armagnac tastings, and even though cognac tends to have more of the name and reputation, and in whether it's in movies or whatever, fine cognac, they like a fine. Oh, it's like a fine cognac, and I can't, and yet thus far, I've actually preferred Armagnacs over cognacs.
I think Armagnac.
I do. On 9 times out of 10, I'm the exact same way. I've had some phenomenal cognacs, but in general, Armagnac is where it's at for me.
I find to be a little bit more intense of flavor. There's a little bit more bold, even in the same ABV, a little bit more boldness to it.
Exactly.
And the grape, generally the base grape usually is Uni Blanc, but sometimes they could use Feuille Blanc, and they can use Baco, and they can use a bunch of other grapes. But anyway.
So Mike Meyer was asking what's a decent price for Joseph Magnus, $99. That's what it goes for everywhere around here.
Yeah, that's what it goes for. So I grabbed my Armagnac. This same thing in some retail food, but this is the 12-year version of it.
There you go.
Oh, okay, same producer.
Yes, same producer.
Oh, okay. So there's a local shop here in Roseville. It's just called Bourbon and Whiskies and More, or something like that. A really, really cool guy. I really like the layout. They have some really nice bottles. They've got the Joe Magnus and the what's the other one? I've got a bottle of it here. Oh, the Murray Club.
Oh yeah.
They're in stock. Sometimes the Murray Club can be a little difficult to get your hands on. Right. And they have a store pick. They have a store pick of man, my brain is just like out today. Garrison of the Garrison brothers. So they have he actually went down to Texas and did a store pick.
Very nice. Yeah, because some of the Garrison picks I've had are awesome. Like we had that one that Irene Tran made up in Connecticut. I don't remember the name of her store, but cool. Daniel Rex went and did a video with her. That pick that Cliff Smith brought us back one of their picks, a sample. It was freaking awesome from Garrison.
Very nice. Carl Ivy's group did a pick at Garrison. It was pretty great too. I think they called it Cowboy Cut or something like that. Oh, no, that was another group. But anyway, Brazos Valley Bourbon Society pick was fantastic. Luna Aaron is asking him, what about American brandy? Is that a thing? Yeah, Iron Root actually has a bunch of brandy maturing. The biggest one I can think of is Copper and Kings out of Kentucky.
Yeah, for sure.
They're probably the most prevalent American brandy producer.
At Traverse City had a brandy we tried that was really good.
Oh, cool.
But there's a lot of cheap stuff like Gallo,
right?
And the real cheap stuff. I mean, there's a ton of that out there. If that's your first exposure with brandy or even American brandy or whatever else, it's like, I think is made with grapes that weren't good enough to go into a table wine or good wine. Mm-hmm. What are we gonna do with it? I don't know. What do you? Hey, Fred, what are we gonna do with it? Let's distill it. Oh, okay, it sounds good. And then they make a brandy out of it. It's like no.
Actually, I just remembered Andalusia has one that they're maturing as well. I think it's probably pretty close to ready. I've gotten to try it a few times along the way. It's ridiculously good. I think it's an orange muscat brandy, if I remember correct.
Ooh, that sounds tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited for that too. And those guys, they're doing rum, RHUM.
And a lot of them a lot of American brandies tend to be a little sweeter. Right. I mean, this one, this isn't like some high-end Armagnac or Boss Armagnac. But the nose is enchanting. I really like it. It's got that Christmas fruitcake kind of character to it. Dried raisins, a little bit of orange peel.
Oh wow!
A little bit of leather. And the thing is, I don't even need to drink it. It just smells so good. I just
and it's 40%, right?
Yeah, and it's not like a big punch, in your face. It's not like really strong. It's very subtle. It's sort of delicate. It's got a little bit of finesse to it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really dig about it is you can get bottles. I mean, when you get stuff that's, much older and higher proof and stuff, that's really cool too. But you can get excellent complexity out of something at 40% in an Armagnac. That's I feel like it's almost a little harder to do in whiskey.
But I have enough fixations. I don't do anything like halfway.
Yeah.
So I really got it. I'm like, oh crud, I got to start another freaking
I
change.
think we all have similar problems. Pretty sure that's why we all do this.
Bunch of nerds.
Yeah. So I switched over to the Pendrin Madeira cask.
Nice.
Delicious stuff from the only distillery that makes a whiskey in Wales.
Yeah, I did a couple reviews of Penderyn's, but they were the minis, and they were all right. They seemed really light. I mean, they weren't bad, they weren't great, but they were just kind of all right. But
this one is like super thick and viscous, and it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Celt I've had, that's the peated one. I like that one a lot. I've had the Myth, the Legends, the other one I think I've had. Yeah, I tried some other ones. They were all really good, but this was my favorite one just because of the thickness of it. It's much darker because of the Madeira. The other ones are much lighter in color, but good. But this one's my favorite. I think the proof may be actually higher on this one. Let's see. What's the proof on this one? Yeah, so this one's 92. I think the other ones are 86. So I think that may have something to do with it as well.
I got to get the iron brew out of my mouth before I taste it. Tastes a little bit like orange bubblegum.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna just switch continents altogether, and go with this Del Maguey Austin Shaker blend.
Sounds like
of Mezcal. I don't know if you guys are Mezcal fans at all, but the big whiskey bar down here, $7,000, right next door and under the same kind of ownership, their sister bars essentially, is a Mezcal bar called Las Perlas. So I would always be going to $7,000, and then my curiosity would kind of carry me into Las Perlas and start talking to the bartenders, and they'd pour me some interesting Mezcal. And now I've got a little bit of hook on Mezcal as well. So
very nice.
Yeah,
it's
Isla Lovers tequila.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's a thing now that the regulations for producing Scotch now allow Mezcal barrels and tequila barrels, right?
Right, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Second distillery in Wales now making whiskey, but not available for sale yet. So it's probably aging, probably not 3 years old, is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's now a blended Scotch. I've been looking for it.
I think it was Dewar's?
Yeah, Dewar's. Yeah, Dewar's has one. I've been on the lookout for it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Which Dewar's?
It's finished in or aged in Mezcal casks.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, so I've been looking around for it, but haven't found one. I'd be really curious to try that. So it's been a rough morning for me. So I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that Bobby and Sam were on. Did someone kick off? Hey, we're surviving Corvid marathon.
Yeah. People go. Perry put this together from This Is My Bourbon Shop.
Oh, okay,
a bourbon podcast. He did it. So I guess started off with Scott for My Bourbon Journey, and then Jason Mash and Drum, and then Bobby and Sam, and then Perry himself, and then Matt Adiushi, then us, and then Kyle from Bourbon Blind will be on after us.
Okay,
about 15 minutes. So
I will not do another
round table after that.
I will not do another bender tonight. I had my fill last night, but a little Armagnac is all right.
Yeah. just ease out of it right there with the Armagnac. Captain Make It Happen is asking what's my thoughts on Joven Mezcal. I don't know that I've actually ever had.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know that I've had it actually.
I have. I had one that was 102 proof. Oh, best freaking one I ever had. That stuff is magical. Yeah, I wish that more stuff came in that kind of proof. I didn't even know they did proof. It was a single cask of it, and it was unbelievable.
Oh, so it was aged
All like that.
nice.
All right, I'm gonna get out the Soulless Cavalon at 58.6. This is the port finish. It's because you need to have your Taiwan whiskeys for the apocalypse. So
the problem with Armagnac and Cognac is you go from drinking Scotch and bourbon into Armagnac. Next thing you know, you're gonna go total wuss and start drinking wine.
Yeah, that is kind of like the go between wine and whiskey, I guess, is the Armagnac and Cognac.
So, in fact, one of the reasons why, and you've heard this already, Scotch whiskey had a boom in the early 20th century is when phylloxera, actually the late 19th century, and when phylloxera was wiping out vineyards in Europe. You could, if you didn't have phylloxera, you don't have grapes. You don't have grapes, you don't have wine. You don't have wine, you don't have cognac. Therefore, hey, where are we going to get our distilled spirits? I know. Let's go to Scotland. And then Scotland had a big boom. And that's
absolutely. That's part of the namesake of iron root, right?
Right.
Yep. The iron grapefruits of Texas were resistant to the phylloxera.
So on the palate, it's pretty much similar nose. You get that dried fruitcake kind of character to it, a little bit of raisin. There's a slight brown bread character to it that I like on that. That orange peel is in there. Really, really nice. It's been a long time. If I were to try to conjure up from memory, you can just name a bourbon or name something, and then from memory, you can bring up the flavor profile in your head.
Yeah.
It would have been a little challenging. It's just been too long since I've had any of this.
Yeah, and I really love, especially when you get into those really long-aged Armagnacs that are in the 20 to 30-year-old range, that those flavors really start to oxidize, and the whole kind of bottom drops out of it, and it gets really dark and deep. And yeah, that's just incredible to me. It's, some of those, it's just makes you stop and take notice and like just be quiet for a minute and enjoy all of the rich complexity.
And it's funny because you say stop and be quiet, because that's exactly what's sort of in my head. Is it's almost like not really good for having a live chat, because I don't feel like talking. I just feel like, I just feel like sitting there going, I'm just sitting here in front of the camera going like this. It's going to be ASMR, for 4 hours. Then there's sniffing, swirl a little bit, and then sniff it a little bit more.
Next will be Bourbon Blind will be next here in about 12 minutes. So I get through several more whiskeys in 12 minutes, but we'll get there.
So that's some Australian whiskey I see there?
Lark's single malt.
Nice.
Tasmania. So 92 proof.
I have one within arm's reach, but I'm not going to do it. No,
I haven't actually had the Lark. I've had Starward and maybe one or two others.
But Starward a lot. Yeah, we had Starward come out here. Their rep was here. She was great.
Nice.
So the Larks remind, if you've had, I'm sure you have, and I know you have, Andalusia, Revenant Oak, or the Striker. I can't remember which one. If you take that and imagine it being a little bit sweeter, it kind of reminds me of Lark. Oh yeah, the peated. Yeah, because they're actually using Tasmanian peat.
The unpeated. So I know Ed from Rock Guts got a peated. He's supposed to send me a sample, but he's been
but even it doesn't, even if it's not marked peated, the Larks has some Tasmanian peat in it, and it'll remind you of like this little bit sweeter Andalusia if you haven't had it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Patrick the Rambler, I don't think we've met, sir. How you doing?
Good. How's everyone doing there?
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm recovering.
I believe that's fair. I think you had a stream earlier, so
yeah.
I know you guys were talking about Brandy before a couple minutes ago, and last month I had Wisconsin's first bottled and bond brandy from Mollersheim Distillery, and it was fantastic. I think they're releasing it like next week, but they had a few of them that they had at the show to sample or come out early, so
that's
I'm hoping
amazing.
to get my hands on that. Yeah, they were doing a little bottled and bond to kind of be more like wine, where it's like a vintage, like all the grapes and everything came from this year, and then but they're primarily a winery before they were a distillery. So just playing off that a bit, but they have some neat stuff.
Super cool. Whiskey Throttle was asking me if I ever tried any SMWS Armagnac. Yeah, I have one in the cabinet here, and I've tried other people's bottles, probably two others. Generally, I mean, SMWS picks fantastic casks, so generally really, really good. I think the older an Armagnac gets, the more happy you're going to be with it in general. But so I would go towards the upper end of the age, which will for SMWS bottles will get a little pricey, but you really can't go wrong. Yeah, it's good stuff. The one we have here, I think, is called Fresh as a Daisy, I think is the name they gave it. Yeah.
Where's that one? I think I only have one Armagnac here. It's what is it? 23-year-old. So yeah, typically it is. Usually, once you get up into the 20s, you usually are extremely happy with whatever you're getting.
Yeah, even younger ones are. I don't mean to take anything away from the younger ones. You know, those are very good, very drinkable as well. But when you get past that 20, 25-year mark, it's just fantastic.
I just noticed I have another one. This is a Chateau de la Bade. My pronunciation probably totally screwed up.
Yeah.
This is another Boss Armagnac. This is a VSOP.
Nice.
Little VSOP. This will fit in your pocket. Just nice.
Nice. Travel stuff is always good.
Absolutely. This one, I put this in my front pocket, and the ladies were giving me quite the stare. And a few dudes.
Eric, is that an Armagnac in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Little of both. Little of both.
Little column A, little column B. So we're doing a live stream tomorrow night as well with Patrick here. So we'll be getting Gretchen on there also on my Whiskey Den. So that should be fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to drink with friends for an hour or so.
You know,
I think you and Robert are on my calendar for next Friday.
that is true.
That's
All
true.
for that.
So
Yeah.
hopefully I'll be fully recovered by then.
I hope so. A week from now.
Just lots and lots of Earn Brew for you.
Yeah, very good.
That is tasty.
Oh, this Nomad's good. From Spain. Well, it's Scotch, but basically, then they take it over to. They finish it in sherry cask in Spain, but it's quite nice. If you guys ever had the Nomad or not.
So where's the spirit from?
I think I have.
It's let's see. Yeah, it just says beginning in Scotland and finishing in PX casks in Juarez. So
Okay.
it's quite tasty. It's super raisiny if you like raisins. It's amazing raisin flavors, but I really like that a lot.
So they're buying, I'm guessing, so are they buying like a finished Scotch, but you can't call it Scotch, obviously, because they take
Right.
it out and then put it into sherry cask and
Exactly.
and then give that character. Wow. And it's called Nomad?
It's called Nomad. Yeah, and it's cheap. It's like $35. It's not
What's
expensive.
the ABV on it?
It is 41.3. So it's low, but it's good. I like it. It's tasty.
Mhm.
And there's Bourbon Blind Kyle. So Kyle will be live in 7 minutes. So I'm gonna get through 3 more whiskeys before in 7 minutes. Brand 10-year, another French whiskey you need for the apocalypse.
Yeah, I've only had the generic entry level brand.
All right, I'll bring this to Psalm 2 then. So you can try it.
You know how Matt does? He just shows up with about 300 bottles of whiskey.
Yeah, no. Whatever fits in the trunk. I thought 3 cases were good for the first Psalm. I think that was a good start.
So Matt, do you have like one of those triangle things you put in the back of the vehicle that says flammable and has a little warning?
Probably so. When I go to
Yeah,
home, probably so.
You need to warn people of the hazard. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
probably
level 2. It's a red one.
like the bastard who it's like, don't touch my car. Bad things are happening to you. Oh, so good. See, this is like the regular brand is if this was nowhere near as sweet and all that cotton candy. It's still sweet, but it takes a lot of away with being 10 years in the cognac casks. But it's
Sure, I could see that.
more like tarts, but not anywhere near as sweet.
Yeah, the regular Bryn was just like sweet tarts and bubblegum to me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like this is more like blueberries. Like I think the best way that Allison Park that owns it describes like a blueberry muffin is the best way to describe it. It's delicious.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to totally change. So I went to the grocery store today.
There was nothing there.
Spooky.
No, very strange things they're grabbing and not grabbing.
Completely agree. I noticed the exact same thing today.
Like the feminine hygiene products, gone. So I'm not going to be fresh for I guess for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And certain parts of chicken, like gone. There's other chicken parts that are still there. Ooh, but just certain, like, I think it's the breast. No chicken breast. I'm like, okay, is it just they haven't restocked the shelves? I'm like, nope, apparently. And then there's these very odd gaps, and yet things right next to it are just certain brands of breakfast cereal.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, Cheerios. Apparently, you don't want to eat that during the apocalypse. But Captain Crunch, oh my God, we got to get the Captain freaking Crunch.
They weren't going to get it before. It's loaded with the sugar ones. They're like, well, I'm definitely getting the peanut butter Captain Crunch and the Crunch Berry. Now I'm going to go nuts just in case this happens. I'm getting the sugar.
Healthy shit. I'm going out.
That's right.
What the hell, man? And I wasn't the only one. I would look down an aisle and I'm like, what the heck? And other people were like, I don't know. People were like, and I think it was done in the middle of the night or something. It was just a really, 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 really bizarre.
That's crazy.
Then you feel weird going up and like, well, I was going to get Cheerios, but maybe I shouldn't be getting the Cheerios. Maybe I should be getting something else. Like you start questioning yourself on your choices.
So Gretchen, my wife was wondering, why is Eric shopping for feminine hygiene products? Are you getting that not so fresh feeling today after last night? Or?
Well, if you're feeling a little scrunchy, you're feeling a little raggy, there's only one thing that'll really get out the remnants. You got to get yourself some feminine hygiene products.
Yep. Yeah, at least you smell better now.
Yeah, the bananas were gone here for some reason. With the other fruits and vegetables, apparently nobody wanted those.
Okay, how do you stock up on bananas?
They're good for like a week.
I know.
I mean, I'm not they're gone.
Hey, but we need a lifetime supply of banana bread. So we're gonna let them go black, and then we're gonna make banana bread, and be able to feed our family banana bread. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we saw the same thing where the fruits and vegetables were some of them were taken away, but all like the canned fruit, that aisle is fully stocked. No one gives a shit about the stuff that's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
What I noticed was like specifically the Star-Kissed canned tuna was all gone. But if you were cool with like bumblebee tuna in a pouch, there's dozens. Like no problem. You want the barbecue flavor or the lemon pepper? Yeah, have all of it. No problem.
No logical sense whatsoever.
Of course, down in Texas, what you guys are really stocking up on is ammunition.
Yes, that's true. The ammo sales here were like record-setting yesterday. Like everyone I know that works at a gun store, they said they sold so many damn guns and ammunition, it was out of control.
I feel like it's going to be Mad Max down there where you're going to the neighbor's house. Give up the fucking bananas.
Yeah, touch my whiskey, you're going to fucking die. I have 500 rounds just for you. Don't worry about that. So we got some Derek Galish Middleton Bluebell Forest. It's another good one for the
single oak, single Irish oak.
Yeah, exactly. This is batch 1, tree 4.
Super cool. I will remember that forever. That's like the only whiskey bottle I've ever seen with a tree number as one of the specs on it.
I've got the Middleton Tree 1, which is coming out on Tuesday, because tomorrow will be Teeling 24-year single malt, and then the Derek Galish Grinnell's Wood coming out Tuesday for St. Patty's Day.
Nice.
Of course, the real crazy people are stocking up on ice. They're buying lots of bags of ice.
That's stupid shit.
Well, I think the thought is we'll stock up on ice. So if power goes out, because you might get a computer virus,
Yeah.
And we've got the power systems. And then in order to keep our food refrigerated, we need ice. So in case the virus spreads to the computers, which shuts down the power, then we'll have ice to keep our stuff cold.
For
I want to check to see if we're run on igloo coolers at the same time.
Exactly.
That's funny as shit.
Oh, jeez.
So I guess we got to probably wrap it up here in a minute. I'll do my last one, which is the Paul John peated 55.5%.
Ooh, I was looking at that in the store the other day.
Ooh, it is delicious. I like Amaroot a lot. Paul John is even better.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I don't own any Indian whiskey. I've sampled a bunch of them randomly here and there, but I've never bought one for whatever reason. I've always liked it, but yeah, good to know. The Paul John's the one to pick up.
Yeah, definitely Paul John. Oh, it smells so good. I have to finish the peated because you got to have peat in the apocalypse for sure. Can't go wrong with peat. I mean, at that point, you might as well smell peat, walk around all the damn stinking bodies and shit. So better.
It's like sugar cereal. You got why waste it before everything goes bad? You better
Pour your whiskey over your Captain Crunch. It'll be just fine.
Well, it's really bad when the zombies are standing at the end of a freeway off ramp holding up a sign, a cardboard sign, begging for money. It's like, oh shit, man, it's kind of really bad. The zombies are begging for money now. Oh, dude. Anyhow, I think Chris is getting ready to go live.
Yeah. All right. So what do you guys got coming up, and then we'll jump off so everybody can go over to Kyle's stream. I know Steve just posted the link to Kyle Bourbon Blind stream. So
very cool. Tomorrow night we're having Josh on and Gretchen. We're going to talk about, like you said, being a brand ambassador and kind of an ambassador for Texas whiskey in general, because you guys are and have been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're having the DeMello's guy on the week after that. We're having Dominic on. And then after that, we're having Blake from Sealbach on.
Very
week after that. So that's what's rolling for us for a couple weeks.
Very cool. All right.
I have my Iron Root MMC review will be coming out this next week if I don't drink it all this weekend.
Nice.
And finish it all. And then Roberts and brother Josh here will be on next Friday.
Yeah.
After that will be God, my brain is just like afterwards. I give up. I'm not doing well today. So.
What do you got coming up, Josh?
Man, I'm just out and about selling Iron Root wherever I can to whoever will listen to me yell at them about corn. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you throw corn at people as it's
There you
going
go.
on?
Pelt them with the corn as they walk by. It's a good idea.
If they don't stop, you're like,
yeah, that's all we're doing, man. Just out there selling Iron Root and then going on both Patrick and Eric's shows here in the next week. So looking forward to all that.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've got a special edition coming out tomorrow. We got a review of Teeling 24-year single malt, which was the best single malt in the world last year. And then we've got, coming up after that, we have cheap Irish for Monday night for our live before St. Patty's Day. And St. Patty's Day, we'll be having the Dare Gaelish Brunel's Wood, and then following that Kentucky All Batch 9. So thanks everybody for joining us. Hope we jump over onto Bourbon Blind Kyle's stream here. And thanks everybody for joining us for COVID-19 and surviving the apocalypse here for the virus. Cheers.
cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Mm.